My sister, Lori Vallow, murdered her children, Tylee and JJ, and buried them in a pet cemetery. And we're all trying to make sense of it. So let's talk about it.
We're thrilled to be back in a podcast studio. Sean is at the keyboard, and I'm Uncle Rex, here with Adam. And we are ready to start answering your questions.
Another live is what we're doing. We're both in St. George, Utah, which is great. Weather's fantastic. We're here recording our audiobook. A lot of you have read it. Some of you have read our book already and made comments about it. Thank you for doing that. So yeah, we're ready to do this live. Any questions that you have, throw them at us. We have Anna. We want to thank Anna for being our moderator, who's on board right now, going to be putting questions up for us to answer.
Let's show Tori's right away. So
okay.
Maybe you guys can come up to northern Utah. You get lots of people to show up. Okay, we're going to hold you to that because we will come to northern Utah. We have someone that works with our publisher to set up a book signing. We'll do a book signing, a meet and greet, and a live podcast.
Yeah,
all together. And we'll be doing that in the Salt Lake area. We'll probably do it down in Provo. So stay tuned for that.
Might be in January, maybe later than that.
Maybe when it gets a little warmer in northern Utah.
Don't know.
Yeah, we don't have a date for that yet, but we'll be doing that in a few locations. For those of you that have read the book, please for those of you that read it and like it and would write a positive review, please do that on Amazon.
And those of you who haven't read the book, no pressure. Go get it.
All right. We may not have any questions yet, none showing up, but Adam, we've had some in the email. Do you remember them offhand?
I do not. I do remember people making comments on our last podcast. What did it have to do with our last podcast?
Well, I'm sure it did.
Okay.
But let me say this in the meantime. We just recorded a podcast last night, which will post on Tuesday and be available to y'all on Tuesday. We're really looking forward to hearing your comments because I think you're going to really enjoy it. We had two guests from the other side village with us. I know we haven't told you a lot about what that is, but I believe the message they have, these two are former addicts, drug addicts. The other side village helps people from homelessness, from addiction, from prison to transition back in society. And they gave us insights on being family members that I think is just tremendous. So look forward to that podcast coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed asking them a bunch of questions, and they answered everything. I love that. And getting people's stories when they hit rock bottom and all that. So that's Tuesday's podcast. You'll be able to hear all that. Okay, so if you have questions, you can throw. These are live, so you can ask anything. We can go off topic. We can say whatever you want. We can divert this wherever you want to go. Ask any questions that you want.
Okay, let me say this about Grandma Debbie's question here.
Grandma Debbie?
Yep, this is a little bit sensitive here.
All right.
She said, I finished it today, meaning the book.
Oh, nice.
It's a wonderful book. Thank you, Grandma. Please write that review. But her question is, when is the next book coming out? If you're a grandma, it means you're a mom too. Did anyone ask you in the delivery room right when the baby came out, okay, when you're going to have your... That's just cruel. That is cruel.
Are we doing another book?
We are not doing another book. You may be doing another book.
Oh, I'm having a hard time doing the audible book for us right now, reading it. So the Audible book may be ready in a few years from now. At the pace we're going reading this book. Well, we'll see how the Audible book goes, but I don't know how long the new, who knows? Anything can happen. You still have Chad's trial. You have Lori going to Arizona. Maybe we hear, and Rex and I are speculating about some other things that we may think have happened. And if all those things come through and we find out all kinds of new information, then yes, a whole nother book could be written. I'm not saying it could be.
Or we could just tell people about it on the podcast.
How about if we write it? Or we have somebody scribe our podcast and then turn it into a book. Be a lot easier. But yeah, I don't know if another book is coming soon.
I was wondering about this too. Anna, our not our
Moderator.
scribe here, our moderator, thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
She asked us about what is the backpack. Do you know what the backpack is?
The backpack?
Yeah, the backpack. Apparently, Lori and something about a backpack for preppers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so there's online websites that sell into the world, well, not into the world stuff, but prepper stuff.
Preparedness stuff.
Yeah, being prepared.
If you say preppers, it's kind of a bad connotation the way we've been using it. So we can say preparedness, and
Okay.
that involves all the good people that are preppers too, and just being prepared.
I'm sure all preppers are good people. They're more excited about prepping than other people. That's why other people aren't called preppers. But these backpacks, they come with food that I think can last, like the same things you would get in the Army when you get dropped off somewhere and you have to survive for a certain amount of time. So you get, a sleeping bag and knife and equipment and food and drinks. So it's like a backpack, flashlights, and just stuff that you would need to survive like something. So the backpack is, I think some of them are $40, some are $80, some are like $300, depends on what comes in the backpack. But there's a lot of people that have that, because then if something does happen, it's all in a backpack. You don't have food storage over here and this over here and this over there. It's just a survival backpack, which I think I got one from Lori, but when I got divorced, I don't think I have it anymore.
You lost it in the divorce. That's sad.
I think Nicole may have all.
You lost
the
your dog and your backpack.
That's what happens when you get divorced. You lose things that you like, I think.
That is sad.
Yeah.
We have a question from Every Brain Matters. First of all, I like the name.
Love the name.
Okay. I was wondering if Lori was a marijuana user.
Well, I don't know for sure. I can't answer for sure. When Lori married Nelson, her very first husband, I think that I heard somebody say that Lori tried speed. That's the only thing I know. I wouldn't be surprised if she tried marijuana, but I don't know for sure.
And we don't think it was a habitual thing over a long period of time.
No, for sure it wasn't.
So
yeah.
I think she was going towards that because her following us. Sorry if this is a difficult question. Many families who have lived ones that have probably loved ones have developed a marijuana and a cannabis-induced psychosis. I don't think that was Lori's particular challenge. Obviously, she had plenty.
Yeah.
I don't think that was it.
No, I don't either.
Gotta unhide it.
Unhide it?
Yeah, click on it.
So click on it.
Oh, to show it?
There you go. That's the next one. There you go.
Okay. Do you think there's any relation between Lori's beliefs and the mother in the recent case out of Gilbert, Arizona, where the son was kidnapped? I think there is a connection because I haven't read very much about the mother in the other situation, although I am thrilled that apparently got resolved. When I say resolved, it's not that everything's done, but they found the teenager they were looking for. That was the focal point of the search. And we attribute that in our next podcast to the fact that people are much more, when I say people, law enforcement and media are much more sensitive to something like this because of the tragedy of losing Tylee and JJ and the other victims and the Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell stuff. A lot more in tune. I think it got a lot more attention, and in this case was resolved. What a silver lining that is. But back to Barbara's question. Any relation between Lori's beliefs? There probably is. I don't know what they are, but if they're both readers of the book
Visions of Glory,
which
I read that she was and Lori is, that book Visions of Glory, for some reason, and we've talked about this in other podcasts, for some reason people are drawn to that book, and then bad things happen after you read that book.
And Adam and I probably aren't going to read that since we didn't even read our own book, but
I'm in the process of reading our book right now.
There are people, and many of you are also hidden gems from Lauren Mathias and Dr. John, and we recommend them and their work on it. They've been into it. They've done some deep dives, and they give great insight, and we recommend them.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, let's see what else we've got here.
What other questions is there anybody on live? There's a few people. Okay, good. There's people that are actually live. I don't know what time it is in like Europe and all the other. We're trying to like do these times like that other people in other countries can also watch.
Yeah, so we thought 1:00 here at our time is going to give the Europeans don't have to stay up too late to listen, especially people in the UK. I think it's an evening time, so we are moving the times around, trying to give people the chance to listen
Cheerio.
live if they don't want to
Cheerio.
stay up late.
Supper in England. Cheerio.
Do you want to talk about your son since he was?
Sure. What do you want to know about my son? He doesn't want me talking about him, so it just
Right.
depends on.
So it's more general.
Okay.
How he's doing since he was pretty close to Charles and Lori and lived with them.
Yeah.
What you did.
I think Zach, like I told you about my parents and everybody else, I think after what everybody has been through, I think Zach is doing great after what he's been through. And, you know, I'm super excited that I get to live in Arizona and I get to see him every morning. Even though I forgot to take him to the airport on Wednesday, it's a long story, but oh my gosh, I almost started crying. I felt so bad. But he's doing really good comparatively to what he's been through. And, but yeah, he's doing good.
I think anyone, especially in your immediate family who's just functioning, including you, is doing well to be doing that. It's a tragedy for all of us. You know, the closer you were, maybe the more of a tragedy, but good heavens, what
yeah. And I know people ask
stuff to
about
deal
Colby as well. And I hope soon, you know, we'll be able to talk more about Colby, but at this point, we really don't have anything to say about Colby yet.
Yeah. Respecting family members'
Yeah.
desires, including
Yeah.
Colby.
Yep.
Okay. Donna Barnes asks, are you both still Mormon Church? I guess members of the Mormon Church. I am. Are you still?
I haven't been kicked out yet.
Okay, they haven't kicked me out yet.
Okay, so yeah, we're still on board.
Plan on staying in.
Yeah.
Sean has a finger up. It's not the mean finger.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Lars, for your question. That one was from
I
Donna.
just got that, not the mean finger.
Well, you know, Sean's been dealing with it a lot today, and his patience is probably waxing a little thin. We're in the studio, not only doing our live here, but Adam has been recording the audible for the book, and so Sean bears the brunt of dealing with this for today and yesterday.
Thank you, Sean. And by the way, a podcast studio, the place to be. This is the best podcast place you could ever be. Rex and I apologize when we do our own podcast. We're like, it's not professional. And somebody did mention that. They're like, could you guys go back to the studio? Because we've been doing it on Zoom from our computers. They're like, it's just more professional. It's just better.
Obviously, much better.
Yeah.
Okay. But we don't have this luxury very often. So we're thrilled when we get it, not just be in the studio, but to work directly with Sean.
Are we giving Swig a shout out? I can't remember if we are or not. We got drinks from Swig, and
I'm not. No, they didn't pay us, so I'm hiding.
Oh, you had to pay for this? All right, Swig.
Sponsors.
I got it. Some kind of an island drink. It's good.
We have to address this because Lindsay, our trying to keep us organized person.
Yes.
I don't know what the right title is for that.
She's vice president.
Or president,
she's
or
president,
chairman, whatever she's whatever she wants to be when she's putting in this much work. Thank you, Lindsay. She reminded us to tell people how they can donate, because people, by the way, we have said if people can't afford the book for whatever reason, we don't ask, we don't need financial statements,
right?
But the foundation, where the money will be, all the money is channeled to the foundation, will provide the book for those people.
Yeah.
And I am thrilled to say 3 people have requested that.
Yes.
And she asked, well, where can we donate for that? And we're working on that. We don't have that avenue yet. The foundation is in the middle of a change, and they have to set up the financials to do that. And they will do that. I'm meeting with the foundation president next week. So that's coming. But thank you, first of all, for asking that question. And second of all, the people that are willing to do that. But I want to thank the people that will say, hey, I want to read the book, but I really can't. Our finances are just such that I really can't do it. That takes a lot to say that
Yeah.
for people. And we're thrilled. The foundation's thrilled. We are thrilled to be a part of that. So,
Well, I will say this, going on that topic real quick.
Mhm.
So we have a new Facebook community, and we started off with 1 and then 2, like I said, and now I just looked, we're at 503. So we've reached over 503, and those are you guys. If you like the podcast, or you like us talking about healing, or you just want to meet each other, there's so many different comments going on there. But one of the comments was a woman heard Rex and I say, look, if you can't afford the book, the foundation will buy a book for you or contribute whatever you need to buy the book. She was like, I just read the book. I finished it. I loved it. Thank you guys for writing it. But now I don't need my book anymore. I can give it to somebody else. If you want to put those in the comments on our Facebook page and you guys work it out amongst each other, if you want to give somebody else your book that can't afford it or whatever, you guys can do all that on your own as well. So we're all for that if that's something that you feel like you want to do. And if you want to join our Facebook community, it's Tylee and JJ's
we are not keeping track of all the different media options
we're going through a lot of stuff, but hold on. My phone's frozen right now. Oh, Tylee and JJ's Silver Linings podcast community. That's on podcast. On Facebook. So yeah, if you want to be part of that, Kimberly C is the one that's accepting everybody. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes,
here's
a serious pickleball question.
Pickleball question.
Yeah.
Yes.
From Alley 99 or 79.
Okay. What does it say?
See that? What is a decent or more than decent pickleball paddle? Serious question because my son plays. I want to buy him a decent paddle for Christmas.
Oh.
Get ready to shell out. We were just talking about this.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. The most expensive pickleball paddle, I think, is $350. It's a Selkirk. I don't play with it, not because it's too expensive. Well, it is, but it's not my favorite paddle. I play with an Onyx Evoke, which is my favorite paddle. I've only played with that paddle. There's Holbrook, there's Selkirk, there's Onyx, there's a variety. The ones that I would tell you not to get are the ones that you buy at Walmart, and they come in with a terrible ball, and there's 2 wooden paddles or whatever paddles. They're just terrible.
That's what I have.
Well, depending on where you live, we're actually where I work, we sell paddles too. So send us a message and I can give you a list of paddles that would be good. If you're depending on you want to spend $100, you want to spend $80, $150. That's the price range for good ones.
One of our optimists does play where you work, right?
Yes. Yeah,
So,
I was working one night and she walked over and she was like getting a court reservation. She goes, "Hey, by the way, love the podcast." I was like, "Huh?" She's like, "I'm an optimist." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's great."
that's cool.
Yeah.
I like this, and there's a follow-on to it
Yeah.
from Nona Malou, I believe is how you say that.
Okay.
She sent this in email just this morning. She said, "You have both been so open about everything. Does that help your process?" Yes. Yes, definitely. All of you, your encouragement, your love, which allows us to be open with you. Tremendous help I'll just say for me personally, I'll give Adam a chance to talk in a second. But first of all, thank you very much for that. And it does. And we don't pretend that's true for everyone. Some people don't want to talk at all. Everyone handles it differently, as we've talked about before. But for me personally, that's so beneficial.
You know what's great also about it is as we, are open and talking about our tragedy and, how to deal with that. A lot of you have also opened up and talked about your tragedies, which actually helps me knowing that I'm not alone on a planet all by myself, that other people deal with, a lot of different stuff. So, yeah, definitely talking about it helps. And I know we have a lot of other optimists that have reached out and on comments and stuff and sent me, Facebook messages and things like that they have issues and things that they have to deal with, and maybe ask for some advice and stuff like that things that I've been through. So I love all that because it does help me. And writing the book helped me. Even though I'm complaining about it, it helped me.
And reading the book too. Is that helping you?
Reading the book is helping me as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Follow up or second part from Nona Malou.
All right.
If you get more information that you don't have right now but want, will that be necessary to you complete your recovery and healing? First of all, I'm trying to come up with, but I don't yet have what it means for me to be recovered and to be healed. I suspect that's a process, not a destination, and I'll always be in it. And I think that's true for a lot of us when we're dealing with tragedy. Life changes, and we just deal with that part of it as we go. So I don't have a good answer because I don't know what that destination would look like. But as new information comes up, we'll deal with it. We hope to get new information from Chad's trial and other trials that are going on. And as we said before, we think some of it's going to be very, very dark and difficult to deal with. And I think because of the healing, again, talking for me, the healing that's happened so far, in part thanks to all of you and a big part, but because of that, I'm willing to delve into whatever comes up. I don't know what it is or how I'll deal with it, but I'm at least willing to do that.
If the question is, if we find out more information, will that help us heal? I think that's the question. I'm sure knowing more things will help me heal. I'm sure, just for my own, so I'm not thinking about things at night or wondering what if, what happened. If we get the truth about a lot of things that can answer some questions, I think that would really help close some healing wounds for me. So yes, that's a good question.
Here's another good question. Difficult subject, difficult to deal with, but we'll take it from Anna Franco. Probably not Italian, so that
I like when you do Italian.
Except it's only one N, so it's Anna Franco instead of what I said. Question, thinking about the desecration of Tylee's body, we don't like to think about that, of course, but do you gentlemen believe Lori developed a disdain for Tylee? I honestly don't know, and I appreciate the question and why it's asked. That's a very valid question, but I have no clue what would be in anyone's mind that would do something like that to any living being, much less a human being, much less someone you know and love.
Mm-hmm.
So whomever did it, I have no idea what went on in their mind. If any of you do, and I'm sure there's some
speculation,
wild speculations from psychologists or people that deal in this area, I don't even have wild speculations on that one.
Well, in my mind, the only thing that I can allow myself to think about is that Lori and Alex thought that they were doing things for God, because whatever Chad went to the heaven and talked to God and then came back and whatever that whole thing was. That's where I believe that Lori and Alex were on board with. The only way they could kill the kids was because of it was in the name of God or for God. Now, I don't know how you can think like that or what was said. That's my own personal belief that I have, but it could, obviously, like Rex said, I don't think we're ever going to know. So
we won't. That's just not the God that many of us want to worship.
Right. All right. Any other questions?
Yes.
Oh,
Jen W. It's 6:13 in Australia.
Yeah, Jen. Australia. We've been invited to Australia, Rex. We got to go at one point.
Can you explain about why a husband and wife, Chad, had a private lawyer and Lori didn't? I wish I could see you both in person at a live. Too far from Australia. Well, if it's too far for her to travel, it may be too far for me to travel. I don't know. Let's not deal with the travel. Let's deal with their question. I don't have an answer for that. I believe they ran out of money, and even Chad's attorney, I heard, put this in the category of wild speculation. Some of you probably know this. I heard that John Pryor, Chad's attorney, now owns Chad's house. So I'd speculate that that's part of a payment process, but I don't know anything about the payment processes and why and timing and et cetera. I know they both had a lot of money available at one point, but I imagine just paying legal fees on something like this burns through that pretty quickly.
And going to Hawaii and living in Hawaii,
Burned up
the
some
bag
cash.
of cash.
Mhm. Yep. They had that bag while they were there, but
Yeah.
it probably didn't last long. How about this, Adam? This is a good one. I know you address it often, but people still want to know. Not everyone hears it when you address it.
All right.
Is your relationship, Adam, with your family healing?
It is healing. Well, at least I hope they're healing too. But yeah, I think that we're all healing. And like you said, it's a process. But yes, we're healing. Well, most of us are healing. There's other parts of people in my family that don't want to talk to other family members, and that's their prerogative, and I totally support that because that's how they feel. And so I'm trying to heal with my family. So yes, we are in the process of healing.
And Jan, we aren't going to ignore your question about Colby. Adam mentioned it just in this live. So if you go back and listen to it, he mentioned all we have to say about that right now, which isn't much. Let's check this out from Paige. Oop. Have y'all heard anything on getting Tylee back? Tylee's remains since JJ's body has been released. I mean, I haven't heard anything more about that. Have you?
Mm-mm.
And we aren't the ones that the body would be released to. So
Yeah.
we won't be on the inside track of that information. We'll probably hear it when you do.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward to whomever has memorial services for JJ and Tylee. I'm looking forward to hearing about it and participating as much as I can.
Yeah, me too.
Of course, we want to honor their memory and do it with the people around that love them also. So we're looking forward to that.
Oh, it's an important one.
Yeah, this is an important one. Sean just told us. He
What is it?
highlighted it. You want to answer this, Sean?
Yeah, it's SHOJQ''N. That's how you spell it.
Is Sean SHAWN or SEAN? Sean is with an H.
SHAWN. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kathy.
Way to go, Kathy. Way to get Sean involved. He was
Yep.
falling asleep over there for a second.
Oh, I know. She wants to send me an Amazon gift card. That's cool. Oh, speaking of here, let me bring this up here real quick.
What is it?
Let go of the mouse. Let go of the mouse. Where is it? Oh, your book. Let's talk about your book for a second on Amazon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Sean.
There's our book on Amazon. It's available. Rex and I are working on an audio book. That's why we're here today doing a live. But the audio book, who knows when that's going to be ready, but this book is ready on Kindle. And we apologize for the people that got the version that was in Latin sent to your house. The new version hopefully will be coming soon. That's all. That's it. But yeah, if you want, that's the book. The book cover was pretty much created by Rex's daughter. And so we want to thank her for doing that. Thank Jane and our publishing company for getting this book done by November 1st, which was amazing.
That's freaking right.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So let us know once you read the book. Let us know what you think, and if you have a good comment to make, please make those on Amazon. If you can do a review on Amazon, it will help, I think. If you like the book. If you don't leave anything.
Yeah. If you don't, you can email us and tell us personally.
Yeah, email us, but don't write, oh, that book was terrible. You can leave that out if you want. All right.
Please.
Any other questions?
Let's answer Anna's. You answered a variation of this, but
okay.
But we owe a lot to Anna, so anything we can contribute. She says, have your family bonds been able to heal and go back to normal?
No, not back to normal. Our family is not back to normal, and I don't think our family will ever be normal.
There's going to be a new normal.
I guess a new normal, right? But as we continue to, and there's still stuff going on, and there's still people in our family that believe other things that could happen. So with that, there's a lot of speculation again. But as we're trying to love each other and try to communicate with each other, just a lot of differences. There's still a lot of differences. And I told my mom, my dad, my sister, my son, I said, everybody has the right to feel how you feel. Nobody can tell you how you feel. And if you feel like you don't want to talk to somebody, or you don't like the way somebody believes something else, then, it doesn't matter. That you should let everybody believe how they want. And we'll just wait and see how that goes. But that does cause a riff a little bit. But, generally, we all love each other. So there's got to be something that, time. My big thing is I think time heals a lot, because 3 years ago, when all this was happening, and 4 years ago, I wasn't talking to anybody.
Yeah, so I think the talking will continue. It's strained even now, and I think when we get in the next round of trials, that's going to open up more wounds, I think, and more potential disagreements and how we handle things. And our family, because we're doing this podcast, our family isn't necessarily all healing together. In fact, people ask us what they think about the podcast. It strains the family relationships, and we love each other enough for it not to necessarily break any relationships. But my conversations with some family members obviously avoid the podcast, the book, the whole Lori situation, because we see things differently. We see things differently, not only about Lori, but why we're doing the podcast. Some family members don't want to invite the whole world into personal family stuff.
Right.
Even if we don't mention them. So it's going to be a process. It's going to be new family relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We care for each other. We love each other. We have ways to cope and deal available to us, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it won't become more easy with more trials coming up.
And we'll just see how that goes. But yes, thank you, Anna. You can ask any questions you want.
Tori asks if an interesting, scary thought, if Lori comes to Arizona, will she be the same place as Jody Arias? I don't know anything about that. I've heard the name. I know that, there's a trial and she's in jail, but I don't know how that works in the prison system in Arizona. Sorry. Do you have anything on that?
I have no clue.
Oh, she's it's another one of those Mormon murder things.
Oh, we know who she is.
Oh, okay.
We just don't know if Lori's going to be in the same prison.
Let
as
me
her.
share some information and help out.
No,
well, I didn't know it was a Mormon murder. So.
Well, the guy was, and then she killed him in the shower. I remember that whole thing. And there was a trial on court TV forever. All right. Any other questions from Optimist?
Here's an interesting thought.
Okay.
Will your family be able to get together for the holidays?
Yeah, we have. I mean, we can. Well, some members don't want to be around other members, so yes and no.
Like other families that we're aware of, and we are so aware because of y'all, you're sharing your stuff. This isn't the only thing going on in our family. There are other things that divide family members and that cause it so one family doesn't want to be somewhere where someone else is. This, as tragic as this is, it's not the only thing in our family. I think a lot of you have that dynamic going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just one thing. It's not just one person. There's more than that. So when we say family, we're looking at a big group of people, and there are parts of the family that just get along wonderfully and love to be with each other. And there are other parts that are strained or estranged from each other. And so I think Adam and I are kind of peacemaker attitudes. We're probably comfortable, correct me if I'm wrong, we're probably comfortable with anyone in our family. We spend holiday with them, and, we see them, just love them.
We could go walk into anybody's house and feel comfortable and be okay.
If they let us in.
But there's other members of the family that don't want other people in the family at their house.
So we're dealing with that like a lot of you are.
Yeah.
That's no different in our family. So get together for the holidays. Yeah. So, but it'll be selective. Different people get together differently.
Yeah.
But the conversation would be strained around us because of the podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people wouldn't want to bring stuff up because they're concerned, even though we try not to bring up
Yeah.
family stuff.
If it's Thanksgiving, we'll watch football. We'll eat turkey. If it's Christmas, we'll sing Wait, do we sing Christmas carols at Christmas?
Well, you guys can talk about me at Thanksgiving, and when the podcast comes up, you can say, "Hey, well, Sean," and because I'm a neutral
In
point.
fact, we could blame everything on Sean and maybe escape the scrutiny
There you
ourselves.
go. Everybody gets on one side of the tail. There we go.
Well, we weren't going to say this, but Sean brought up something about a family member.
Yeah. All right.
I'm anxious to get to a question from Missy Holden. She's a great contributor.
Oh yeah, I see Missy on YouTube. I think she makes comments on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes, she'll also be a moderator when we get our stuff together and get more than one. So,
Awesome. Thanks, Missy.
has anyone heard about a memorial service schedule for JJ? I have not yet heard.
Nope, I haven't
If
heard yet
anyone
either.
else has, please comment, and we'll try to get it out there. I'm in touch with Kay and Larry, other people that would be involved in the memorial service there. I'm guessing summer's been tremendous. In fact, if I can give a shout out, I know she doesn't like us bringing her up, but
Yeah.
she did 2 memorial services. I wanted to bring it up just because I'm going to be talking with Nate Eaton this week. And one of the reasons we love Nate Eaton so much, of course, that his coverage of this tragedy has been tremendous.
Yeah.
We see him as the face of the media for everyone. And part of the reason it is, I told this story, I don't mind telling it 100 more times. One of the services that your sister Summer held for Tylee and JJ,
Yeah.
Nate called and asked to if he could come. And she politely refused, said, "No, we don't want any media there. That's not our purpose." He said, "What if I don't come as a member of the media? I just come and meet people and be there and honor them myself." She said, "Well, if I don't know how she said it, but when she explained it to me, is basically, if you think you can do that,
Yeah, feel
as a
free."
reporter, Summer
Yeah.
didn't know him very well, and he did, and he showed up, and it was just wonderful. Didn't report it, didn't tell anyone, didn't make it a news story. Just honored the victims as everyone else there was doing. So instantly, our family loves Nate Eaton
Yeah.
and everything he does. All that to say, our family will probably have something by someone
Yeah.
also, but that hasn't been set yet.
Is that Nicole? Oh, I thought that was my ex-wife Nicole leaving a message. I was like, please don't say anything bad.
That's Nicole R.
Oh, Nicole R. Good. It looked like my wife for a second.
Yeah,
My ex-wife.
you don't scare us, Nicole.
Yeah.
Maybe Adam's ex might.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, is that Nicole? What is she saying on here? Yeah, right. So she wouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, Adam, I don't know if you could handle being with another Nicole just because of the name. Nothing wrong with Nicole R. But
No.
sorry, this has been asked already. Will Tylee and JJ be buried together?
Don't know
Their
anything.
remains, we don't know anything.
Don't know anything about that yet.
And they'll be released to different
Yeah.
branches of their families. So
Yeah.
don't know anything about that. But, well, who knows?
Was that Nicole's question?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, love this one.
okay.
Adam, take this. Have you, from Dr. Von Decay, another great contributor.
Yes.
Well, a lot of these people are. I'm not shying that at everyone that is, but
I
Dr. Von Decay.
I like doctors. Go ahead, doctor.
Have you relayed to Janice how much she is loved and cared for among the optimists?
I did reach out to my sister. I saw my sister Summer on Friday, and I told her, hey, there is some optimists that made some good comments about Mom if you want to share that. So I think Summer went back in the house and watched and then sent my mom some comments. So yes, I have relayed that to and I snapshotted a few of them that I was going to send to her, but I told Summer instead, and Summer actually sent them to her. So yes, my mom is grateful that that you guys have accepted what she's done and all that, and understand a little bit better.
This one stirs a little emotion with me. I'll respond first, and then maybe you can calm it down.
Well, if you start crying, I'm not going to respond.
I'm not going to. No, this one's more anger.
Oh, okay.
Do you think Lori believes she had an NDE when she had Tyler, that she consciously made it up to fit in with Chad? I think Lori has made up all this crap. I don't think she had any experience that is supernatural unless it was from the wrong source. Sorry, it's a little touchy. Sitting there in the courtroom hearing the stuff that she spewed out when she at the sentencing
Mm-hmm.
still kind of triggers me a little bit. Sorry about that. Can you bring
And
any more reason to it?
You're allowed to have any
Thank you.
and I want Rex, and I told this to other people. I was like, Rex can have any views that he wants. He is in the right to feel how he wants to feel, and there's a reason he feels anger, and that's good for him. For me, I don't know enough about Lori, if she snapped. I don't know enough about if she's delusional. I don't know enough if she saw something in her head or thought she saw something, or if she's just making everything up, that she's just evil. So I don't know. The problem is I don't know. I really wish I did, but I can't even answer that because in my mind, this could go 50 different ways of what Lori was thinking. And I just don't know what it is.
That is so much of a better answer than mine was.
No.
And very diplomatic. No, what Adam said too. I don't know either. So that's very accurate. My reaction was emotional. Yours was reasonable. So we'll go with that.
Okay. Missy?
Yeah, that may be a replay. I think we brought her up before the memorial service.
Yeah, we don't need
scheduled.
that. Any other new questions before I go voice track the audio book? Scroll down.
Scroll down more. Do
All
you
right.
you talk with Larry and Kay? Please send them my regards and hugs. I'll do that, and they're in our book. We acknowledge them very positively in our book, and I'll be talking with them this coming week. So we'll do that. We talked about Colby. Would you ever visit or reach out to Lori someday? I'd have no problem doing that. How about you?
Reach out. When you say reach out to Lori someday,
Well, let's say, would you request to go see her in jail? The way it has been, you've had to request, and she had to approve the request. I haven't tried that, but is there a circumstance where you would?
I would like for her to request to see me.
Okay.
If Lori's like, hey,
And then you go see her?
yes. If she requested to see me, then I would go. I don't think I want to request to go see her because at this point, listening to what she has to say at court and just non-responsive to I don't think it would do me any good. But if she requested, then I would love to go because then I would love to see what she had to ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Love to be a fly on that wall. Janine, I think I left the wrong impression here, so let me address this first with Janine. She said, surely the podcast is not the unmentionable thing within the family. No, it's not. But it's a touchy situation with some family members. Okay, not all of them, and some are very supportive of the podcast.
Yeah.
And like to talk about it, etc.
Yeah.
Some just don't want to talk about Lori related stuff at all because they've had enough. It's not because they have anything against the podcast.
Or Lori. I mean, obviously people just have gone overboard after 4 years of dealing with it. People need breaks. Yeah. So, and we're respecting all that.
Yeah. And no, that's not what we're referring to. Saying there are other things in the family.
The people don't like other people in the family for stuff. Yeah.
Are Larry and Kay ever going to be on our podcast? I'll tell you the last time we talked to them about that, Kay said, I need a break. She was taking a break, a mental break, and more power to them. Good grief. Who's carried more of a burden of being in the public and doing interviews and podcasts than Larry and Kay? And we love them for doing it, and we certainly want to respect them taking a break. And maybe she was just saying she wants to take a break from me personally, or you personally, or both of us. Could be. Doesn't matter, whatever it is, Kay, we support Kay and Larry and whatever they choose to do.
And we know we've invited them on the show. And so if they're ready and they want to come on the show, by all means, we'd love to have them on. Any other? I'm just going to keep saying it.
There's still a lot.
Any other questions?
if you just keep asking, it's not going to stop, and you're going to get a break. So
I got a lot of work to do in this audiobook today.
yes, you do. For years, people have said this is from tense, I think is how you say that, like tense, like patient, like Hortense.
Tense Wolf.
Tense Wolf.
Okay.
For years, people have said that Lori was a good mother. Is it possible that she was deceiving everyone? There are reports that Lori had Munchausen by proxy, and Tylee really wasn't sick. I wouldn't know anything about that. All the stories I've heard, even with Tylee there, about Lori caring for her, I accepted face value. Now I don't accept anything face value, but at the time I accepted it all. And Tylee was definitely sick, and it affected her health. So from what I saw, I bought into that. And here's how I address that, Tense, and then I'll give you a shot. Every time I saw Lori, I stayed with her a few times. We're at family gatherings. So it's not like I lived with her like my daughter, Kaylee, who was her nanny. So I asked Kaylee the same question, same answer I give. From what we saw before she went
off the
wacko,
off the deep end,
she was patient, loving as a mother. Now, I wasn't looking into her heart. I couldn't say, oh yeah, but she is patient, loving, but there is evil in there. I didn't see that. I never witnessed any reason to believe she was anything other than patient and loving and tremendous as a mother. Good grief, when you stay in her home and you see what she did with JJ, especially when he was young. I stayed with him once when he was 4, nonstop. You have to have eyes on him nonstop. She got a break when he was in a high chair eating or involved in something he liked, but that was the only break when he was awake. And patient, loving with Tylee as a teenager, a very strong, outspoken teenager. Lori was tremendous with her.
Yeah.
So that's from everything I witnessed. I still stand by. She is a tremendous mom. And I know people had the argument, and people can believe what they want. Well, if she did what she did, there's something in there wrong all along.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't see that. I didn't have vision into her heart or her soul.
Yeah. Well, growing up with Lori was a normal kid. And as a teenager, all the way to her adulthood, and great mom, great person, cared for people, loved people. If you're an evil person at that point and you can fake it that good, I mean, it would be almost a miracle if that was the case. So I think Lori just started getting into the end of the world and predicting. And then when that started happening, and she went down that road, that's when she changed. So people can change, and she changed. So she wasn't evil her whole life. I just don't believe that at all.
Me neither.
At all. There's
and
zero.
She chose to become evil.
Yeah, she chose to become evil, but all the way her whole life, she was a really good human being until that happened.
Okay, so we'll go from that heavy subject to back to pickleball.
Yes, I love pickleball. Let's turn this pickleball podcast into pickleball.
We won't do that, but from our chief of staff, Lindsay.
Yes, Lindsay.
She just started watching pickleball on YouTube. Do you have a partner during tournaments?
I do have partners during tournaments. Different partners all the time.
He's Mormon. It's a polygamous thing.
No, not those kind of partners.
Okay, I didn't know.
I do like to play singles in pickleball. Not a lot of people like singles in pickleball because it's a lot of exercise and running.
And no one else to blame.
Right. And doubles, you can play with a guy, and men's doubles, you can play women and play mixed doubles, play women, play with women, play women doubles. So yes, you always have a partner, and people ask you to play, or you ask somebody to play to be your partner. Thank you, Lindsay, for getting us some more pickleball in. I like it.
And yes, I will let people know, just a brief note from Tori, that when I talk with Kay and Larry next, that the optimists are thinking and praying for them.
Yes. Yep.
We always tell them, the people that we talk with, we always express our appreciation for them. And I told them before, I hope you don't get tired of hearing it, because I'm going to do it every time I see you.
Yeah.
I told them. I just feel so much gratitude for what they've done, not only getting it started, but carrying the burden of being the face of it for family. Really, they aren't our immediate family, but
right.
the collective family, they were the face of it for
Yep.
everyone. And that's quite a burden to bear. And I'm so grateful for it.
Any other questions?
Of course there are. Can you guys do a podcast about your fitness and how you keep in shape and thoughts about that?
Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh, do I love this question. So Rex and I, when I lived here, would go play basketball together at the church. And we call it old ball and young ball. Old ball was older guys showing up to play half court. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesday, Thursday was young ball, which was young guys that played full court, that ran the court. That's one of the ways that we try to exercise. Rex does spin class. I play pickleball. I lift weights. How else do you exercise? Do you do push-ups?
I do push-ups.
Do you?
I'll tell you a routine I have because it relates here.
Oh, good.
So every morning I have to stretch because I'm old, and your body has to recover from sleeping even when you're old.
Yeah.
Sleeping is a burden. And so I have my stretching routine. Part of it's 25 push-ups, and I pause at 23 because there are 23 veterans that take their own life every day on average. And so that's my way of just acknowledging them. Someone suggests that. I said, heck, I can do that.
That's great.
Because I'm pausing before 23 anyway, because I usually can't.
I got two more. I got two more to go. Let me stay up here for a minute.
So at 23, I pause for the tragedy of the veterans taking their own lives. And then 24 is Tylee, and 25 is JJ.
Wow.
And my
I like
25 push-ups.
It's
not much.
I used to do push-ups. I haven't done push-ups in years. I guess I need to start. But yeah, so that's it. Do we eat? Do we eat good? I gotta say, for the most part, we probably eat good. Last night, Harmon salad, but then I also had a big thing of bread, and I had a huge cup of soup.
So soup's not bad.
That's not bad, right?
Yeah. Adam is incredible about keeping his blood sugar in check.
Well, I try. When you get type 1 diabetes at the age of 22 and it's like somebody throws something in your face, you're like, what? I have to do. The doctor's like, you have to take insulin shots the rest of your life or you're going to die. So at that point, at the age of 22, I was like, okay. So I started taking insulin shots. Your pancreas stopped working at the age of 22. I was in the best shape of my life. And then from that point forward, the doctor said, look, as long as you go to the gym and you work out every day and you don't drink soda or orange juice, those are like the high sugar things. Well, this is diet soda, Rex. It's okay. But he's like, as long as you work out. So I've been going to the gym and trying to work out for the most part of my life, just because type 1 diabetes, you have to keep it under control. Otherwise, I see a lot of people that have it that just, let it get really bad. Thanks for that question, though. It really, really pickleball, working out. Now we're into my sweet spot.
Okay, back to something else you would know.
Okay.
From Nona Malou.
Yeah, no.
Adam, do you think you'll be called to testify in Lori's Arizona trial?
Yeah, I got called by, I think, the prosecution in Arizona before we started the podcast, because Rex had sent out an email saying that we were going to do a podcast. Does anybody have any rejections for that or something? Remember we sent something out?
Yeah, we contacted both
and just said, hey, we're going to do a podcast to talk
teams.
about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she reached out and says, look, we can't tell you not to do a podcast, but we would ask that you don't talk to other people that could be witnesses
like Brandon, for example.
like Brandon, because he's going to be a witness. They told me you're on the witness list, so you're going to be a witness. So since I was the last person to text trial, there's a lot of that stuff. So yes, I'm going to, if they have a trial with Lori, if that goes down, I will be a witness at that point.
Which was part of the reason that Kay and Larry wouldn't come on. But last time I asked Kay, it was because I wanted to talk about what her son said, which was part of her victim statement when she said, Lori,
that was forgiven.
His name escaped me for a second.
Yeah.
Lori, he forgives you.
Yeah. Dan,
I wanted you to know that.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear more about that for healing. Nothing about the cases coming up, but
for the healing prospect.
Yeah. Because I recognize when she said that about him, dang it, his name still escapes me. Someone will put it in the comments
Yeah.
for us. So when she said that he forgives you, this is JJ's biological father who loved JJ,
Mhm.
had addiction problems to overcome, had to give him up. When he has forgiven her, and I am where I am even today, he's a lot further down the healing path than I am. And
Yeah.
I admire that. I wanted to hear more about it from her, but it'll have to be another podcast time.
Any more questions?
Well, if you're going to ask, they're going to be here.
Sean just put his head down.
Pam, we don't know anything about any of Chad's family or his beliefs before. Neither of us have read his books. I
No.
tried reading an excerpt from one, and I'm pretty healthy, but that made me sick, and I could not go on.
Yeah,
with it.
we
So
can't
sorry,
comment on we
aren't-
can't comment on Chad at all. Like I know nothing about Chad or his family. Nothing.
And we are mindful that he hasn't been to trial yet.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Another pickleball question for you.
What?
You
Yes,
like that?
Rex.
From Ray Lynn regarding pickleball. If you have large hands, do you have an advantage? How about height? Careful of this. Don't degrade it.
Well, some people do think if you're taller that you can reach better in pickleball, but also if you're lower, part of pickleball is getting low to the ground. So I think
Scooping those
I think
things.
if you're shorter, you have a better chance of getting low balls. If you're taller, you have a better chance of reaching. So I don't really think I think it's even if you're shorter or tall for pickleball. Thank you, Anna, for putting that question through.
Let's
Yes,
see.
Adam. All the pickleball questions.
So Donna, a little earlier, we talked about visiting Lori, and neither of us have plans to.
Oh,
But-
visit Lori?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we aren't categorically opposed. So
Yeah.
that's the end of our moderated questions here, and we've gone just about an hour here. So why don't we give Sean a break? He's going to take his wife out to lunch when we get done. So he's sitting here just kind of biding his time for that, cringing every
hungry.
time we answer more.
Sean's hungry. He's got to go. So we do want to mention again, our book is on sale. You can buy it if you can't afford it. Our foundation, or not our foundation, the foundation will try to help those people who can't afford a book. We'll talk more.
Just email us for that at rexandadam@gmail.com and let us know, and we'll get it to you.
And we're definitely going to talk more about the foundation because I think it can help a lot of people. It really can. So we'll talk about that.
We will. It's revamping. When you contact us about the book, let us know if you would like the Kindle or the printed version, and give us a shipping address if you want the printed version.
The audio version won't be available for quite some time. I did chapter 1. No, first I did the preface, then chapter 1,
He'll get it done.
then chapter 2. Rex is supposed to do chapter 3, which he hasn't done yet. And I'm just finished chapter 4.
Hey, we can start sending those out this afternoon. You just got to finish up those last couple chapters, and
Sean,
we just send them out, man.
Okay, Sean. Okay. Do you need to be here in the studio while he's recording, Sean? Do you want to spend
Oh,
the
that's
night?
right. I'm hungry.
that's right.
I think what's worse is my wife's hungry. She's like, "Are we ready for lunch yet?"
Yeah.
She's getting hangry.
Yeah.
Let's not mess with
So
that.
we have the book, and then also don't forget, if you're on Facebook, you can join our group. It's Tylee and JJ's Silver Lining Podcast community. It's grown now from 1 to 503, which is incredible. And we like to. You can post a picture of yourself, introduce yourself to the group, we were reading a comment last night from somebody who's going through a lot or went through a lot in their life, and we'll talk more about that in those kinds of things later if people want to come on and talk about it.
And we will start having optimists on the show.
Yes, a big part of our podcast is having you guys on the show with your stories and talking about stuff, because I think it's healing for everybody. It's not just our family story. There's so many other stories that we can all heal from and learn from. I think that's what our podcast is really moving towards.
That's where our community is.
Yeah.
And they did that. They got the Facebook group going.
Yes.
And they are interacting with each other and providing all this love that expands to everyone. So thank you so much for that. A couple other things. Positive reviews of the book on Amazon. Tuesday, our podcast with the Other Side Village, two of the Other Side Village people.
Robbie and Brian.
Yep, Robbie and Brian, Other Side Village and Other Side Academy, two related initiatives. They'll talk about that. Very compelling podcast coming up on Tuesday.
All right, we're ready for the outro. Here we go. We got a brand new intro and outro. Oh no, we
it's not
don't.
posted yet. They
It's
will
not
next time.
done yet.
Next time they
I
hear
couldn't
from
get
us.
it down.
I
in time.
needed a 10-second intro and it took you 8 minutes to do it. So yeah, we ran out of time, Mr. Speedy.
Sean's like, just do it. And I was like doing 50 of them. He's like, no, I need a good one.
Silver lining, silver lining, silver lining, silver lining.
We will have a new intro and outro to our podcast as well. Maybe the next time. Yeah.
Thanks for being with us.
Yeah.
This has been Tylee and JJ's Silver Linings Podcast. Your input is helping us make sense of this. We encourage your comments